On Beyond the Gates, Leslie and the Duprees are at war, and I've got to say, I am loving seeing this battle. I'm not at all sad when the Duprees take a hit or two courtesy of Ms. Thomas. A small family gathering consisting of Vernon, Anita, and Nicole soon turned into how sick they were of seeing Leslie prance around with her money, thinking she belonged. I've lost count of how many times one of them has told her or said aloud that money won't buy her class. Maybe not, but it's sure funding her opportunity seeking, that's for sure. This won't be popular opinion for many, but seeing Leslie make her moves and occasionally get some hits on the Duprees makes me smile. Not because the Duprees are evil and need to be punished, no. And not because I dislike them, because I don't dislike them. It's something far more straightforward than that. I just love the drama, and the scriptwriters really have some great moments for Leslie. For example, the scene with Leslie at the club after talking to the club president. Leslie is about to leave when she runs into Anita and Nicole, who are overjoyed to hear that Vernon has convinced the president and the board that Leslie's membership at the Fairmont Crest Country Club is no longer valid. The conversation starts with Anita and Nicole acting so very high and mighty, and once again, money won't buy you class, Leslie. Nee? And so on, and so on. Then Trisha Mann Grant delivers like only she can. Leslie feigns being shocked and lets the two Duprees think that they have scored the last laugh. But alas, no. Leslie, in prime form, tells them they are very much mistaken. Her friend, the club president, has given her a full membership owing to her endowing the country club with a new sports facility. That's right, soap fans, the new Leslie Thomas Sports Center is coming in the following spring. Imagine a whole new building with Leslie Thomas in giant letters all over the front of it. A shouse across the road shining gnome lights through Anita and Vernon's French doors. And to cap it off, the final middle finger to Nicole was when Leslie handed her Ted's tie, folded up. "For whenever you see him," Leslie cooed. The look on the two Dupree ladies was one Leslie won't forget for a long time. Sure, Leslie will one day pay for all of this, with interest. But for now, soap fans, we have quite the villain, don't we? For the pure joy of soapy drama and the genre, Leslie may not be the villain we wanted, but she sure is the villain we need. Hey babes, welcome back to Gossip Delight. It's your girl Daisy, and trust me, today's tea is scorching, steamy, and absolutely unmissable. Buckle up, because we're diving straight into the drama. Beyond the Gate spoilers for Wednesday, September 17th, indicate Anita Dupree will come up with a game-changer of a move, while Andre Richardson will be stunned when a bombshell is dropped on him. It sounds like Ashley Morgan will fill him in on her plans to marry Derek Baldine. Although Ashley and Andre agreed that they were better apart than together, hearing that the one that got away has decided to start a new life with her firefighter ex-boyfriend will likely hit the freelance photographer hard. Will he end up turning to Danny Dupree for a steam sesh to ease his ego? Across town, BTG spoilers imply that Haley Hamilton will launch a sizzling plan of seduction to get Bill Hamilton jealous. Last week, Haley reached her limit of playing second fiddle to Danny and the rest of the Dupree family, so she came up with a nifty plan to give Bill a taste of his own medicine. Haley decided to use Tomas Navarro as a pawn in her jealousy game, and it sounds like the young lawyer will fall right into her trap. She'll dabble in some flirty during the September 17th episode with Tomas, just as Bill walks in to catch the two in a close moment. The idea is a good one, except Bill can be a dangerous man. Will he lash out a poor Tomas or hatch a plan of his own to run his associate out of Fairmont Crest? Bill doesn't seem like the type of man who would remotely entertain the idea of an employee being inappropriate with his wife. In other news, Anita will propose an innovative idea for Catherine "Cat" Richardson and Chelsea Hamilton. As fans know, poor Chelsea is still healing from being kidnapped by her stalker, Allison. Chelsea was so traumatized by the incident, she swore she was going to delete all social media. Still, the original business plan for the Chelsea Cat purse brand centered around Chelsea using her social media following to garner sales. Of course, Cat wants her cousin to feel safe, but no social media for Chelsea would also mean their purse line could tank. Beyond the Gates spoilers note that it sounds like Anita will have the perfect solution and compromise that will satisfy Chelsea's need to feel secure with her social media, but also ensure that Chelsea Cat will succeed in its mission to bring on those revenue numbers. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Wednesday, September 17th, confirm that Haley kicks off her seductive plan to make Bill jealous. Meanwhile, Ashley drops some unexpected news on Andre, and Anita makes a game-changing proposal. Read on as soap opera news breaks it all down. Haley is back to her old scheming ways, and this time, it's all about Bill. Feeling left out and overlooked, she decides it's time to shake things up. She hatches a seductive plan to spark a little jealousy in Bill. Her target is Tomas. Haley turns on the charm, cozying up to him and laying it on thick. She tells Tomas she's never seen this side of him before, and that she likes it. Right on cue, Bill walks in and catches the entire moment. Now the question is, will Haley's bold plan pay off, or has she just made things even more complicated? Meanwhile, Ashley drops an unexpected bombshell on Andre. Nisi, me, and he never sees it coming. She reveals that she and Derek have decided to take the next step in their relationship. They're getting married. The news hits hard. But will it make Andre jealous? Or is he fully secure in whatever he has going on with Danny? Only time will tell, but this revelation is bound to stir things up. Beyond the Gates spoilers for September 17th also reveal that Anita comes through with a game-changing idea to help Kat and Chelsea. After everything Chelsea's been through, the road ahead won't be easy, but she's not walking it alone. With the support of her loving family and Anita's bold plan in motion, there's a chance this could turn everything around. So, what do you think about Haley's new scheme? Sound off in the comment section below. In Beyond the Gates spoilers for September 17, Haley hatches a seductive plan to spark some jealousy in Bill. Ashley drops an unexpected bombshell on Andre. Anita proposes a game-changing idea to help Kat and Chelsea. His new single, Forever Bae, will be featured in the Sept 16th episode of Beyond the Gates. Joey tempts Vanessa once again, but this time, it's with an intriguing offer, the Beyond the Gates spoilers for Thursday, September 18th, 25. Tease a lot going on with Joey. He'll stun Vanessa with an offer she can't refuse. Vanessa is stunned by Joey's offer. As we already know, she gets weak around the resident bad boy. There's something about him that makes her do anything for him. Joey doesn't have to do much. Vanessa will fall right into his lap where he wants her. He'll make her an offer that will leave her speechless. What is this offer, and will she say yes? Speaking of Joey, Doug will find a way to take him down. On Thursday's episode, Doug has uncovered a way to make the casino kingpin pay for his sins. It's safe to say that Joey is on Doug's hater list. What doesn't help matters is that Joey is sleeping with Doug's wife. He incorporated Randy into his plan, but Doug dropped that particular scheme. But after spotting his wife in Joey's arms, he clearly thought of something new. Doug will finally get his revenge. But how will he make it happen? Meanwhile, Tomas has plans for a romantic evening with Kat. Will it turn out the way he hopes? Or will things go off course? Andre has a mysterious challenge for Danny. He got the idea after learning about Ashley's and Derek's engagement news. Andre also has romance on the mind. Will these two end up getting hitched in Las Vegas? Where will their romantic encounter lead them? Do you think Andre and Danny will get married? Here's what went down Tuesday, September 16, 2025 on Beyond the Gates. When Lucky June got pulled out of the frying pan and the fire, Eva just couldn't with either of her parents, and Smitty saw his husband in there somewhere. On Beyond the Gates, June brought Naomi and Jacob meals they hadn't ordered as a means of making amends for bringing them the wrong food before. She then went to another customer and predicted what they wanted to eat, rather than letting them order for themselves. After Jacob had to leave for the police station, Eric, Orphe Jean's manager, approached Naomi, who thanked him for hiring June. However, he wanted to talk about June's performance thus far. Samantha and Martin continued to discuss her almost having had sex with Nathan. They agreed that she wasn't ready, but Samantha still wanted to get June's advice, rather than go to Nicole or Kat. Tyrell overheard and was furious. Not only that Samantha wanted to involve June after they'd agreed to sideline her, but that Samantha hadn't broached the idea with him first. Samantha listened as Tyrell reminded her how, as a younger children, They'd sat in the cold when June hadn't paid the electric bill, and when they had gone hungry after June had disappeared for days. But Samantha yelled that her brother didn't get to decide whether or not she could see their mom. Smitty tried to referee, but as the teens went upstairs, Martin told him they needed to let them work things out for themselves because they were dealing with their mother. Tyrell found Samantha, who was upset over being judged by her brother. He reminded her that once June had abandoned them, they had agreed not let her back into their lives. Samantha stressed that they weren't little anymore, and that meant there was a need to rely on others in addition to themselves. Meanwhile, Martin shared with Smitty Samantha's discomfort at being the only female in a family of males, and understood why she would want to add another woman's voice to her dad's. Smitty was uncertain, recalling that June had caused her kids to miss out on a lot of things. Learning that June was off drugs and working wasn't enough for Smitty, but Martin saw that including June in Samantha and Tyrell's lives meant more love and understanding for them. Smitty thought back to when they'd first adopted the children and how invested Martin had been in them before he began pulling away. Smitty remarked that Martin was again acting like the man he had fallen in love with. Martin could tell Smitty sensed changes in him, but intuited that it still wasn't enough to wipe their slate clean. Martin stopped himself, realizing he had put Smitty on the spot. The congressman knew they needed more time and acknowledged that they may never be able to heal their relationship. He said that the kids were the one thing they had done right and missed the trust he had broken between himself and Smitty. Upstairs, Samantha insisted to Tyrell that she wasn't choosing June over him and their fathers. Bringing June back in was something she needed to do for herself. "A girl can only Google so much," Samantha told Tyrell, informing him that there were things about growing up female that she couldn't get into with the others. When Tyrell suggested Samantha speak to their female family members, she said they were always going through something, which made June a more logical choice. Tyrell put together that Samantha wanted advice about Nathan and called it a double standard that she had stayed quiet about him despite Tyrell talking to her about Jessica. He thought that he, Martin, and Smitty could adapt to Samantha's needs, but Samantha wanted to be able to talk to June about first periods, first loves, and first times. Plus, Samantha said, Tyrell probably had his own questions for June. Did Tyrell hate June so much that he didn't want his sister to have her? Samantha wanted to know. The teenage boy said he was sorry for shutting Samantha down, and the two cleared things up. Tyrell noted that his sister could talk to whomever she wanted. Samantha admitted she probably would have told him about Nathan eventually, maybe. "Girls are weird," Tyrell replied, before declaring he would be at Samantha's side when she looked at their mother. At Orphe Jean's, Jacob had returned, and Naomi told him it was time to rip off the Band-Aid. Naomi summoned June, who talked up how important the chance to be employed was, and had to give her the news that Eric wasn't going to keep June on. June was shattered to be fired, but the woman to whom June had brought her own choice of meal overheard and stated that the diner was supposed to be about heart. She took Naomi's tip to talk to the manager on June's behalf and left to find him. Afterwards, June announced that she was unfired and called the Hawthorns her fairy god folks. Jacob advised June to thank the customer who had vouched for her, and Naomi reminded her to write her orders down going forward instead of going by memory and making unsolicited recommendations. Naomi saw June's face fall and knew she was thinking about her kids. June realized that just because she'd done one thing right, it didn't mean Samantha and Tyrell were going to walk through the door. Except, at that moment, they did. Privately, June told Samantha how she was going to take down orders, since guessing at them was frowned upon. Samantha laughed and asked June if she had time to talk when she was off the job. June was excited she'd get to hear Samantha's questions and said that she would give her both her available days off if she wanted them. Ted woke up with Leslie beside him, but she wouldn't let him get a word in edgewise as she glowed about the heat of their encounter and decided to go for a round two. Just then, Eva knocked on his hotel room door. Ted tried to cover Leslie's mouth, and she joked that if he were going to play rough, they should have a safe word like peaches. Ted didn't want Eva to know he'd slept with Leslie, but Leslie thought Eva would be okay about their parents making love, especially since it had meant that they had gotten back together. After Ted corrected that they were not reuniting, Leslie observed that they were both still naked and asked for an explanation. "I was drunk and you were there," Ted conceded. Affirming that there would not be a repeat, Leslie was hurt, feeling that what they'd just shared was something he could never have with Nicole. "Oh, what? I'm just some messy little side piece for you? Is that what I am?" Leslie wanted to know. Ted insisted that he loved Nicole and reiterated his desire for secrecy. Leslie was aghast that, as always, Ted didn't care about her feelings. Leslie knew Ted was wondering what Nicole's reaction would be when she found out, adding that Ted could keep his secret because she didn't want the reminder of how low she had sunk. Ted apologized and got out of bed to answer the door, but by that time Eva had left. Over at the Dupree mansion, Nicole snickered that she wished she could see Leslie's face when she found out that her country club membership was canceled. Anita hoped they could also tackle the homeowners association and remarked that Vernon was on a call with Bill to see if they could delay Leslie's construction permits. Nicole was annoyed that Bill was somehow still the family fixer and admitted she wasn't happy that Bill had started the moment of the family placing monetary bets against Ted. Anita felt that Ted had had the humiliation coming for trying to score points with his announcement about preventing Leslie from buying the house across the street. Nicole noted that what had bothered her most was Ted not telling her about Leslie when Leslie first returned to D.C. The about-to-be divorcee resented that. Because of Ted, the other residents of Fairmont Crest were whispering about her behind her back. Anita was surprised when Nicole said she'd probably have given Ted another chance were Leslie not around. Nicole continued that Ted hadn't seen Leslie and certainly hadn't slept with her. Therefore, she wondered if she owed him one more shot. Anita and Nicole discussed how Chelsea Cat's purse launch was still ready to go and that Chelsea remained too traumatized from her kidnapping to deal with it. The matriarch brought the subject back to Nicole and wondered if Nicole's mourning of her marriage meant she had a reconciliation in mind. Nicole's head said no, but her heart didn't agree. Anita asked point-blank if Nicole was truly interested in going back to Ted, or if she was just afraid of what was ahead without him. Nicole said she had been affected by watching Ted being ambushed by the family. She was feeling things for him she thought she couldn't anymore. As Nicole told her mother how she'd loved her perfect life with Ted, the plastic surgeon paced his room and scrolled through images of him and Nicole on his phone. How do you say goodbye to the place your soul belongs? Nicole pondered. Anita recalled how she hadn't known what her real motivation had been behind reuniting the Articulettes until she'd sat down and admitted to herself it had been because of wanting to finally do right by Barbara. Likewise, Anita said, Nicole needed to make her own decision and own it, assuring her she wouldn't feel the confusion in a month or a year. Had Anita been more open about her own pain and not presented as so strong, she reckoned, perhaps both Nicole and Danny wouldn't be having such a hard time with Bill and Ted, respectively, whom they viewed as mistakes. Leslie went to the country club to meet Eva, who noticed that her mother was off. Ms. Thomas made herself perk up and told Eva that she had been able to purchase her Fairmont Crest home after all. Congratulations, I guess, Eva shrugged, wanting to talk about Ted. Eva didn't think Ted was doing well without Nicole, and knew that Martin and Kat still hadn't forgiven him for hurting their mother. Though she was still mad at him herself, Eva decided she wanted to let Ted know he could count on her. Eva thought it odd that Ted hadn't answered when she'd gone to his room. She also didn't buy Leslie's theory that he'd heard her voice and opted not to come to the door. When Leslie couldn't help herself and hinted that Ted might have been busy, Eva realized that Leslie and Ted had gone to bed. Eva was upset because she hadn't told Leslie about Ted's drunkenness so that Leslie could take advantage of him. Leslie asserted that she and Ted were both adults, though things hadn't ended the way she'd hoped with him. So being reunited didn't feel so good, Eva remarked, quoting the song. Leslie was adamant that she had gotten Ted to make love to her in an attempt to bring their family together. She just hadn't gotten her desired end result. Eva cried that she had been there for all of Leslie's antics, even when others had warned her to break away, because she loved her mom. After Leslie assured Eva that what had happened with Ted hadn't been about her, Eva sadly replied, "It never is," and left the table. Then, Gabe, the country club president, approached Leslie, who praised the establishment for treating her like a lady. Gabe wanted to get into the topic of her membership, and when next we saw her, she had run into Anita and Nicole in the lobby. Nicole was happy that Leslie had dined on her last meal on the premises, but Leslie bragged that she had made the board see that she belonged there. "Money doesn't buy you class," Anita told Leslie haughtily, with Nicole scolding Leslie for pretending she was still a member. Leslie retorted that she had offered to finance a new sports wing for the club, which would be named for her, after which Gabe had kept her on. Nicole and Anita stood steaming as Leslie moved to leave. Then Leslie handed Nicole Ted's tie, which she had pilfered, and requested that Nicole give it back to her Teddy-Weddy. Ted was surprised to see Eva on his doorstep and attributed her coldness to his having tricked Leslie into giving up her house across from the Duprees. But Eva didn't want an apology about that. She knew what he had done with Leslie. "What the hell, Ted?" Eva asked, appalled. Ted was annoyed that Leslie had blabbed to Eva after he told her not to. Eva cracked that she was surprised she hadn't made it a reel yet. Eva couldn't understand how Ted could have bedded down with Leslie, a woman he hated. Ted countered that he didn't hate Leslie and that he had turned to her because he had been lonely. Eva obliquely accused Ted of using Leslie. Ted swore he hadn't done that. Eva said that Ted couldn't unring that bell and spat that Ted was just as reckless as Leslie. "He should have known better," Eva fumed, especially since she had been working overtime to convince Leslie that there was nothing left between her and Ted. Dr. Richardson's eyes widened when Eva prophesied that Leslie was going to pursue him even harder now that he had hit the reset button on all her crazy. BTG executive producer Michelle Valjean teases what's ahead for the soap as it moves into its second season. Back in May, CBS renewed Beyond the Gates for a second season. As the show approaches this new season of episodes, creator, head writer, and executive producer Michelle Valjean revealed that she is focused on pushing boundaries while staying true to the heart of the genre. She also previewed what's coming up for the rookie soap. For Valjean, pushing boundaries means she will utilize whatever it takes, all the tools at her disposal, to take the show to the next level. "We just want to keep it moving, keep it interesting, keep it flowing, surprising the audience," she recently told TV Insider. "I see a lot of speculation online about where we're going, and it makes me smile, because a lot of the time, that's not where we're going. It sounds like unpredictability is everything to the EP. That might be why BTG cast Jacob Hawthorne's brother. So far, Jacob and his dad, Elon, have had some interaction. Jacob followed in his father's footsteps. Elon is currently the police chief, and Jacob is a rookie detective. Hopefully, with his other son's introduction, this means we'll see more of Elon outside the precinct. Actor David Lamy Freeby takes on the role of Isaiah Hawthorne. He is not Jacob by any means, Valjean previewed. He's the black sheep of the family, but he got a hand up by somebody that will surprise you. On top of that, Isaiah will be a new love interest for one of our lucky ladies. He's going to be a counselor at Banneker, which is a university, so he'll be the door to open up that world to us, Valjean revealed. Valjean teased another casting nugget, although she didn't name any names. There's going to be another surprise down the road that soap fans will like. Other than that, expect BTG to bring all the soapy things: family secrets, unexpected terms, betrayals, surprises. For one, Anita's and Vernon's marriage may not be on solid footing. What does that mean? If the matriarch and patriarch can stumble, is anybody's relationship in the Dupree family safe? Meanwhile, Bill and Haley's union is in trouble when a surprising familial connection to Haley poses a threat to Bill. Finally, Vanessa's and Ashley's worlds come crashing down around them as lies, and the death of a loved one change everything. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Wednesday, September 17th, hint at some drama on the horizon in Fairmont Crest. Haley Hamilton plots a scheme, while Andre Richardson gets shocking news, and Anita Dupree has a game-changing idea. Read more to find out what the new CBS soap will be up to during Wednesday's show. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Wednesday, September 17th, reveal that Haley will launch a sizzling scheme to get Bill Hamilton jealous. Last week, she had a light bulb moment where she realized that Thomas Navarro could play a key role in this plan. And this week, it looks like Bill will catch his wife and young associate in a too-close-for-comfort moment. How will Bill react? Speaking of jealousy, Ashley Morgan will drop a truth bomb on Andre, and it sounds like she'll fill him in on her pending nuptials with Derek Baldwin. Andre is sure to feel like crap when he hears the news, but he will try to fluff it off as nothing. The real question is, will Derek and Ashley get hitched? Will Ashley find out that Derek is lying about his condition? Across town, BTG spoilers imply Anita will propose an idea that changes the game for Catherine "Cat" Richardson and Chelsea Hamilton. Chelsea is still dealing with the trauma of being kidnapped by Allison, and she's deleting all her social media. Meanwhile, Cat may believe in doing so, but so what will Anita propose? Could she strongly suggest that Chelsea not delete her social media, rather just change her profile to the Chelsea Cat brand so they don't lose followers or business? Maybe promote the purse line only and not add personal information to their posts. Fans will have to tune in to see. What storyline are you most looking forward to during Wednesday's show? Share your thoughts. Tune into the CBS Soap Daily and check out CTS often for the best Beyond the Gates updates, spoilers, and news. The week ahead on Beyond the Gates, we're getting a day that we were sure would never come. Leslie finally gets Ted back in bed. Now, putting aside for a moment the fact that the erstwhile Dana/Lulu Anna is a bleep crazy menace to society, we've got to ask, why does she still want Eva's father so badly? He's made it clearer than clear that he hates her. He had Bill threaten her out of town to get an abortion way back when. He humiliated her only recently. So what exactly is the appeal after all these years? Does Leslie really love Ted, or is she just desperate to win at any cost? I think it's both, Trisha Mann Grant tells Soaps.com. She does love him, but a part of it is, I've got to win this. I've got to make this man mine and conquer him. At the same time, she's holding on to yesteryear, adds the actress. A true gift from the daytime gods. She wants that family thing she never had, and she in the craziest way feels like she's owed it, like this is supposed to be, and she's determined to make it happen. If by some miracle, one day Ted just up and said, "Let's live happily ever after," to Leslie, would she be capable of that? She thinks so, Man Grant says. She just wants her teddy-weddy. But I think she'd be bored once she got him, because it's like, okay, now the whole game and the fun is over. What's next? In a way, it would be a terrible loss for Leslie if she ever got her, well, Nicole's, man. Fixating on and pursuing him has been her hobby for decades. Leslie, her portrayer says with a laugh, she's complicated, she needs a hug. Sometimes I get the script, and I'm like, she's still chasing him? My goodness. Haley's seductive plan will stir up emotions in Bill. The Beyond the Gates, spoilers for Wednesday, September 17th, 2025, suggest that Haley's seduction plot might work after all. She ends up driving Bill wild, which is exactly what she wants to do. Haley will create a new seductive plan that could make Bill jealous, and it looks like it could work. It didn't take long for Haley to go back to her old ways. She feels overlooked lately, so she's trying to get his attention. Haley seduces Tomas. According to this week's BTG preview, she lays it on thick as she tells Tomas that she's never seen this side of him before. Of course, Bill walks in and doesn't like what he sees. What will he do next? Or will things get even messier for this couple? Meanwhile, Ashley will drop an unexpected bombshell on Andre. She'll announce that she and Derek are getting married. Andre never saw this coming. Will he get jealous? Or will he go all in with his relationship with Danny? These two couples are going to try too hard to prove that they're happy. Anita has a game-changing idea that could help Kat and Chelsea. Chelsea wants to have some normalcy in her life, but it hasn't been easy. Thankfully, she has the support of her family. Anita's idea could help change things. However, it could also lead them down a path that could have serious consequences. Hopefully, this won't lead them into more trouble. It has to be a lot, because Leslie doesn't seem worried as she throws money at every obstacle. Hurricane Leslie continued to blow through Fairmont Crest during the Tuesday, September 16th episode of Beyond the Gates. Leslie and Ted's post-coital moments were less than pleasant. In the light of day and clear of head, Ted realized that sleeping with Leslie was a big mistake. He was super wasted, by the way, but he acknowledged his stupidity, and if he ever hoped to get back with Nicole, he had to know this wasn't the way to go. Ted asked Leslie to keep what they just did under wraps. Why did he even ask her such a thing? The woman had some sweet, and very damaging intel that she would use in a hot minute. In fact, it took her 2 seconds to tell Eva, and by the end of the episode, she not so slyly let the cat, or should we say Ty, out of the bag again. And now Nicole won't have to worry about debating whether or not she was hard on Ted. There's no way he will touch that man with a 10-foot pole anytime soon. We know Anita felt so guilty about what happened to Barbara. She wanted to do some good for the woman responsible for the articulettes uniting. She feels she owed it to Barbara to provide for the years she missed with the group and the years she missed collecting the residuals after the group disbanded. The Dupree matriarch set up a trust that would provide for Barbara's descendants. Leslie got the first check, but at this point, how much was in that first deposit? Has she also received subsequent checks? It's clear that Leslie doesn't know how to manage money. She does know how to spend it. She has been spending it on retail therapy, and now she's trying to buy her way beyond the gates. And it's working. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.